Sorry, sir. Understood. So in this session, we will discuss some 13 to 14 questions. It's basically based on the concept which you already learned throughout the fourth, up to the fourth week. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So my screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
clearly.
So this is the first question. Try to solve this one. Just take 3 to 4 minutes to solve it.
And see the questions and make it large.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
But I can't listen to this. Yes, you can draw the graph. Then from the graph you can analyze, right?
First one is correct.
Yeah, write your answer on the chat box. Yes, I'm listening.
Provided with graphing tools in the examination.
Yes. Can you repeat it?
Are we provided with the graphing tools, ma'am, like Desmos or something like that? In the
No, you have to draw the graph based on the function which is given.
ma'am, I was asking about the graphing tools, whether they are provided in the exam or not, or are we
He's asking demos will be provided or not, the software to follow protocol.
I don't think it will be provided. I'm not sure about it.
That not will be provided. It not will be provided. You have to plot your own.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So we can start now, right? So we have if it's equals to x cubed minus 6x squared plus minus. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can factorize this one, right? We can write it as x cubed minus x squared minus 5x squared 5x plus 4x minus 4. Then from this two, we can take x squared as common. Then it will be x minus 1. Then minus 5x x minus 1. Then we can take 4 as common. Then it will be again x minus 1. So this is x minus 1 into x squared minus x plus 4. Again, we can break this. This will be x minus 1 whole square x minus 4. Right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So if we have something like that, and they are given that g equals to minus f, that means gx equals to minus of x minus 1 squared x minus 4. So now we can draw both the graph for g and f, right? So what will be the graph for fx? If here we can see, if x tends to infinity, then fx will be again tends to infinity, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And if x tends to minus infinity, then fx tends to minus infinity, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what will be the graph of f? Something like that, right? Right? Similarly for g is basically minus f. So it will be something like that, right?
Graph is half seen.
Now, is it okay? So this is our gx.
Yes.
Now we can look at the options. So f is strictly increasing in 4 infinity. So this is 4 infinity. So this is correct, right? F is strictly increasing in 4 infinity in this interval.
Ma'am, is there a way to prove if it is strictly increasing or not?
Yes? Can you repeat?
Ma'am, is there a way to prove if it is strictly increasing or not?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
had a
sure.
similar.
You can derivative make like take the derivative of f, and then you can check that
Or
it
you
will
can
be
plot numbers, no? You can directly plot 5,
like
6, 7 in the equation and you will get the answer, different answer.
yes.
increasing answers for FX.
So in many option you can, like in many ways you can find it. This is also one of the way you can plot the graph and you can analyze it. Okay.
And what were you saying? Derivative and then?
Okay. So you have f of x equals to this. Now, if you can find the derivative of f, which
Yes,
will
I'll
be
be able to do that. Yeah.
x square minus 12x plus 9. So
Hmm.
for x greater than 4, for x greater than 4, you can see that fx, it will be greater or equals to 0. That means the graph f is increasing. Okay.
Okay.
So if
Got
in
it.
that interval, the derivative of the graph is strictly greater than 0, then the graph will be increasing. Or if it is strictly less than 0, then it will be decreasing.
And what if we had two intervals? Let's just suppose with two numbers, since in this we had infinity, so we're not
Yeah,
checking for that.
you can try it for both the interval. For both the interval, separately you have to try. Okay.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. So if both comes out to be greater than 0, then it's strictly increasing.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it may be increasing, decreasing, decreasing, increasing, or decreasing, decreasing.
Okay, okay, got it, ma'am. Thank you.
So for the second option, G has two turning points and there are no turning point with negative y coordinates. So for G, this is one turning point, this is one turning point, right? And for both of them, the y coordinate is positive, right? For this and for this. For this, y coordinate will be 0 and for this, y coordinate will be some positive number. So the second option is also true, right?
Ma'am, can you
And
explain the question again, ma'am?
yeah. So for the second option, they say that G has two turning points. So G and F has two turning points. We can see this one and this one. For G, this one and this one. We have two turning points. So this is not our concern. Now, there are no turning point with negative y coordinate. So if you look, this is our G, right? This is our G. So here we have two turning points. This is one turning point and this is another turning point. For this one, y coordinate is 0 and x coordinate is 1. And for this one, x coordinate is something and y coordinate some positive value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So there is no turning point with the y coordinate negative, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So the second option is also correct. And the third option is saying F has two turning points and the x coordinate of both the turning point are negative. So for F, this is one turning point, this is one turning point. But for this point, x coordinate is 1, which is not negative, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the option 3 is wrong. Fourth option is saying G has two turning points and y coordinate of only one turning point is negative, which is also wrong, right? Because we have both the points, for both the points here, y coordinate is positive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So option A and option B is correct.
Ma'am, I understand all the concept behind this, but ma'am, can you explain how to find the roots? Because my roots is in some form of irrational roots in root 2, I think.
Yeah, this is the procedure. You can factorize it. Just, just you can factorize it. You have to
Ma'am,
balance.
how you find x minus 4, ma'am, in gx?
Okay, from here you can see you can break this one as x squared minus x minus 4x plus 4, right? Then we can take x
Yes, ma'am.
common, then it will be x minus 1. Again, minus 4 as common, then it will be x minus 1. So it will be x minus 1, x minus 4.
Okay, yeah, understand. Yes,
Ma'am, how did you
I get
get
it.
Ma'am, for the first
3x square?
fx, you have written x
One
cube
moment.
minus x square minus 5x square plus 5x. How is this derived? The second step for fx.
Okay, this step you are talking about, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
So, this is just you just need to practice to factorize this type of equation, right? Then you will get an idea by yourself. There is no particular rule for it. Like you have to gather some experience, then you can also do that. Okay, you just have to practice. You just take random equations and try to factorize it. Then it will be easy for you also.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
how
By
did
your
you get
method,
3x square?
the yeah, carry on.
Ma'am, how did you get 3x square minus 12x plus 9, the derivative part? Can you, because we didn't
Yeah,
learn about
you
it.
have this function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So take the derivative of this function with respect to x.
Okay. No, I don't know about derivative. Like we didn't learn about it in this 4 weeks.
Okay. So just ignore this method right now. You can
Okay.
follow the graph. Yeah.
Okay,
When you
ma'am.
will
Thank you.
learn about derivative, then you can do that.
Yes, ma'am. Can you
Ma'am,
solve by the quadratic formula, ma'am? Ma'am, find
What?
the root by quadratic formula.
Quadratic
After
formula is for like second up to second degree, right? Like it's
yes,
for
ma'am.
second degree.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have a third degree equation.
But after solving, ma'am, x square minus 5x plus 4, sir, ma'am,
That
is
is also
this?
you can do. That is also you can do, no problem. But we can easily factorize this thing. You can
Yeah.
easily check it. Like this is clearly visible that we can factorize this. So
ma'am,
always try to do this. Yeah.
ma'am,
Yes,
how
ma'am.
do
When I
you
solve by the quadratic formula, then my answer is different in some rational form.
So how is it possible?
No,
See,
no
here
answer.
is
Quadratic
5
formula only possible after
is root
executing.
over 25 minus 16 by 2. So this is 5
Yeah, this
plus
answer is
minus 2 by 2. So this is 4 and 1, right? How is it different?
Yes, some
You made some
some
mistake. Let's check
issue with
it.
me.
You made some
Okay, ma'am,
mistake.
that's fine. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
ma'am,
So yes.
ma'am, how do you know that my f of x actually the parabola it is, I mean, starting it is coming from down?
Okay. So for the n variable, we can check, no? From this, if x tends to infinity, then fx tends to infinity. So like when x tends to infinity, this is our x-axis, right? And this is our fx. So this direction is positive infinity for x, and this direction is negative infinity for fx. So when x tends to infinity, like this, then fx tends to infinity. That means in the positive side. This is our fx. Okay. And when x tends to minus infinity, here x tends to minus infinity, then fx tends to minus infinity. And this is what I'm doing. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, how did you get that? How did you get that x square minus 5x square part in the second step while factorizing the cubic polynomial?
X square minus 5x squared where?
Second step, f of x.
Yes. That is what I already told, no? You have to just practice it. There is no particular method for it. But if you analyze this equation, you will get an idea how to like adjust it. You just have
Okay.
to practice it, then you will get the idea. Yeah.
Okay.
There is no particular rule for it. So is it fine now? Can I move with the next question?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
So this is the next question. Take your time to solve it. Then we will do it. Write your answer on the chat box. Okay, so we should start at solving now. We have two equations, minus x plus 4y minus 1 equals to 0. So for this, the slope will be 5 by 4, right? And another equation we have x by 4 minus y by 5 equals to 1. We can simplify this, right? So it will be 5x minus 4y minus 20 equals to 0. So for this, the slope will be 5 by 4. And for both the equation, the slope is same. Hence, the equations are parallel, right? So option 1 is correct. Now
Can they
for
be
the second
collinear?
option, yes.
Can they be collinear?
Yes, can you say again?
Sorry, can they be collinear, ma'am?
Collinear.
Yes.
Which one? This two equations.
Yes.
No,
No, they are
because
parallel.
see, the constant term is different, right? Constant term is different, right?
Yes.
So they are parallel.
Okay.
You can have just have the look. The constant term is minus 20 and here minus 1. So the option 1 is correct. Now, what the second option is, a polynomial defined on R with even degree may have no roots. So we can find the example for it, right? If we take fx equals to x squared plus 1, then is there any real root of this equation?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So if we equate this as 0, then you will find x equals to plus minus I, which is a complex number. So yeah, this is not possible. So there are some examples. So option 2 is also correct. Now option 3, we have y minus 6 equals to 3 x minus 5 squared. We can simplify it and write it as 3 x minus 5 squared plus 6. So the vertex will be 5, 6, right?
Yes.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. 5,
Why?
6. 5, 6.
5, yeah. So
Please
option,
check
Yes,
the
ma'am.
graph.
So it's
yeah, option 3 is wrong, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
it's 6,5. Yeah. And here it's given that a polynomial defined on R with odd degree can have no root. Is it possible? Option 4. Is
No,
it
ma'am.
possible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, if we take an equation cube plus 1, then, and if we plot x is minus 1, then we can have then that will be a root.
Ma'am, there can only be odd number of roots like 1, 3, etc.
Ma'am,
Yes,
for
yes.
negative and positive
So
numbers,
if
for all numbers,
if
you can
we
have
have a complex
eight.
root, then the conjugate of this root will also again a root, right? Yeah. So this is also not possible.
Ma'am, can you
Yeah.
give an example?
Yes.
Ma'am, can you give an example for the last option?
Yeah, sure. This is general case, right? But still, if you just consider this equation, you will have 1 and plus minus I. If you have one complex root, then the conjugate of this root will also be a root. So obviously, at least one root you can find which is real. So always at least one root there will exist.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So for
What is
this,
root for this one?
we have
Minus
only
1.
option 1 and 2 as correct.
Ma'am, can you explain the second option just once, like quickly?
Yes, I can't hear it.
Can you explain the second option?
The second option, just once, quickly.
Okay. For the second option, the vertex is 5, 6. Here it's given 6, 5. Oh,
No,
for
the second option.
Third.
Okay,
Second,
so
ma'am.
for the second
That's that
option,
option.
we have an example, right? This one.
Can you explain it more?
This is a even degree equation, and
Okay.
for this the roots are plus minus I. That means there is no real roots. So we can say that there is no real root. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please explain the third one, ma'am? Why is it wrong?
Because the vertex is 5, 6. And here it is given 6, 5.
So we are taking any polynomial, right, ma'am, for the second option?
Yeah.
Or the one which is given?
No, they said that a polynomial defined an R with even degree may have no
May
root.
have no root, right?
That means there may be some polynomial with even degree that has no root, that is no real root, right? So we can find the example of a polynomial which is of even degree and which don't have any real root, right? So option 1 will be correct.
Because x square becomes
Yes, ma'am.
is equal to -1, and then got it. Ma'am.
But ma'am, in second option, you talk about only roots, not asking real or unreal. So
Yeah,
so
root
it's defined on
means
R
here,
means only real
it
roots.
will be real roots. Root means here it will be real roots again.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So,
Ma'am,
we solve it in the way like opening the bracket, x1 is pi square that. So we get different answer like by using that vertex formula of minus d by 2a.
Yeah, you can use any formula, then vertex will be always same. You can break it, you can use this formula also, still the vertex will be same.
Because when we open the bracket, we get x square minus 30. No, sorry, square minus 10x plus 25 in that way.
X square minus 10x plus 25.
Plus 25. So yeah, b become minus 30, right? Oh, sorry. It's minus, yeah. Minus will be plus. Sorry.
So it's fine.
It's fine. Sorry.
Any method you can use, the answer will be same again. So,
Ma'am,
the
the second option we are not using just because it is defined on R, right?
Yes.
If that is not mentioned, then it can have roots with a complex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here root means this automatically you can consider as a real root. So We are just working over the real line, okay?
Yeah, because no, I mean because it is specifically mentioned that
A
it is
complex
defined on
number,
R, and hence
but
we are
we are
considering
not
that, right?
considering complex number here. Our concern is just real number system. So if there
Right.
is no real root, then you can take it as there is no root.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
So let us look the next question. Here's the next question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So yeah, try to solve it.
Ma'am, in the prior question, to find the vertex, can we use that formula minus b by 2a, comma
Yeah,
4ac
sure.
minus b square by 4a square?
Sure.
But I am getting 2 there.
No, then you have made some calculation mistake. So you calculate it again.
Okay, I can use, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. So this is the next question. Try to solve it.
Yes, ma'am.
Write your answer on the chat box, okay? Okay. 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. We have so many answers. 1 and 2 only. Okay, I will discuss it. Don't worry. But first, let me know your answers. Okay. So we can start solving it. Again, we can plot the graph. We have px equals to minus x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3 square, x minus 4, x plus 1, x plus 2 square. And for the n behavior, we can see when x tends to infinity, px tends to, for this, we have plus, and we have a minus sign, and this tends to minus something. And when x tends to minus infinity, then we can manage the sign here. It will be plus, it will be minus, this for this again minus, here plus, minus. So minus cancel out, here minus cancel out, and then it will be px tends to infinity, right? So this is the end behavior of the graph. Now we can plot the graph. So yeah, for x equals to minus 2, this will be something like that. For x equals to minus 1, we have this. And then for x equals to 0, we have this. Again, for x equals to 1, this 1. For x equals to 2, for x equals to 3, we have an even degree here. So here it will be something like that. And for x equals to 4, we have this. So this is our graph. Now we can look the options. So there are exactly 8 points on P where the slope of the tangent can be 0. So we can consider this points, right? This points. At this point, the slope of the tangent will be 0. So here there are only 8 points, right? We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So option 1 is correct. Option 2, P is strictly increasing when x in the interval minus infinity to. So if we look at the interval, this interval, minus infinity, comma. So here, P is strictly increasing in this interval. So yeah, from the graph also we can see, right? Okay. So P is 1, 1 when it is in the interval minus infinity, comma, minus 2, minus 2, and 4, comma, infinity, 4, comma, infinity. So in this interval, it will be something like that. This. So this is 1, 1 clearly, right? Option 3 is also right. Now, when it is in the interval 2, comma, 4, this is not 1, 1 because we can see for here. So option 4 is wrong. And option 5, the total number of turning point of P are 9. So here we can see we have only 8 turning points, right? Only 8 turning points. So this is not right. We have 8 turning points. So option 5 is also wrong. And the last option, P is strictly decreasing when x belongs to minus infinity minus 2. In this interval, you can say. So in this interval, P is strictly decreasing, right? You can see minus infinity minus 2. In this interval, P is decreasing. So 6 option is correct. So we have, option 2 incorrect, option 3 correct, and option 4, 5, 6. Now you can ask whatever doubt you have.
Option 6 is correct, no, madam?
Yeah, now you can ask your doubts.
Ma'am, can you explain the end
Ma'am,
behavior? How
option
what cancels out?
One by one, please. One by one, please. Yeah.
Ma'am, option 2 is not understood.
Option 2. So
Yes,
option 2 in this interval minus infinity minus 2, the graph is decreasing, right? The graph is decreasing, right? So the option 2 is wrong.
Ma'am, but in the solutions it is given, it is strictly increasing.
No, you can see the graph, right?
That's what I had marked as well, but when I clicked on check answers, it shows it's strictly increasing.
Okay, then there may be some mistake. I will check with that again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we can see the end behavior, right? When x is tends
Yes,
to
ma'am.
minus infinity, then px will be tends to infinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is correct only, right? I think
Yeah, this is
we
correct.
yeah.
So the
If this
graph
is
is
correct,
correct. I had marked the same options as yours, but I got that incorrect. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, okay,
okay.
got it. Yeah.
So there may be some mistake. I will check with the answer again. So yeah, it will be decreasing here because when x tends to infinity, px will be tends to infinity. Yes. So yeah, option 2 is wrong. Option 3. So is there any problem with the other option?
Can you explain how option 3 is correct once?
Which one?
Option 3 and 4.
Option 3 and 4. Okay. So option 3 is saying that in that interval minus infinity minus 2, 4 infinity. So this is the graph. If you just consider the graph, this is the graph. So this graph is 1 1, right?
How, ma'am?
मेरा
Why
गेट
not?
नंबर 2 है, ऋतिक है कि गेट नंबर 1? मेरा गेट नंबर 2 है.
Why? What is the problem? We have this one, right? Minus infinity minus 2 minus 4 minus 6. So this line, this point we don't have. Minus 4 and minus 2 we don't have. We have the
Yes, ma'am.
open intervals. So now here, from here, if you take any line, it will cut the graph only at one point, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it will be 1 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And for the option 4, if we have minus 2 comma minus 4 interval, that means this interval. So if we take this point, then you can easily see this line will cut the graph in 2 points, right? We have 2 different images, right? So this
Yes.
will not be 1 1. Okay?
No, it's cutting at more than 2 points, right? Like 1, 2, 3, and
Yeah,
4.
actually it's more than 1 point. So at least 2 points we have, right?
Okay.
Point also will be there, but at least 2 point we have. That means we have 2 different images. That
Okay.
means it's not 1 1. Yeah. So is it okay now?
So using the horizontal line test, with that you can find out, is it?
Yeah, you can do that also. So in this process also you can do it. So I think you don't have problem with the other options, right?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I have a doubt here. Uh,
Yes.
why the curve are maximum and minimum? Hello?
Can you repeat it?
Ma'am, I have a doubt here that -2, when curve move to -2 to -1, then it move minimum, sorry, maximum. And when move -1 to 0, then it minimum. Why, ma'am?
Okay. So if you consider the graph from the interval minus 2 to -1, this is the sub part of the graph, right? So this is
Yeah,
the
ma'am.
maximum. And if you consider up to 0, -1 to 0, this is the minimum. Right? Right? So can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
hope
sir.
you don't have, yeah, I hope
Yes.
you don't have doubt. So yeah, this is the next question. You just take your time to solve it. Then we will again discuss it. Okay, so we have two answers here, 4 and 16. So yeah, let's solve it. Let's see. We have A equals to 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? So if R is the equivalent relation, then we have R is reflexive, R is symmetric, and R is transitive, right? So R is reflective means A comma A will be in R for every A belongs to A. R is symmetric means if A comma B is in R, then it will imply that B comma A will be in R. And R is transitive means if we have A comma B and B comma C in R, then it will imply that A comma C will be in R. So these are the definitions. So if R is equivalent, then R have to be reflexive, right? So the mandatory elements are 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7, 7. So here now if we check the symmetry condition and the transitive condition, so here AB means only we have the tuple 4, 4, 5, 5. So again 5, 5. So symmetry is also holding here, right? And for the transitive property also we can check. This is also correct. So this will be the smallest possible equivalent relation. So the cardinality will be 4, right? Yes, if you doubt, you can
explain
ask.
how
Yes,
Ma'am,
I have sent you a message. Please check.
Okay.
How it is transitive is true.
Village memory define.
Which one? Definitions. Definition you have already learned, no?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
how
can
is
you please explain
transitive?
this question for the symmetric and transitive again?
Okay. If you have AB in R, then it will imply BA in R. This is symmetry. And you have AB and BC in R, then it will imply AC in R. This is transitivity. So here you can see 4, 4, 5, 5. So this is our A, this is our B, right? If we take this as A and B, again B and A, BA will be again 4, 4, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is in the in R. So there is no problem with that. Similarly, for the others element also, we can check this condition is satisfying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, that this third condition is also satisfying, right?
How is the third condition, ma'am? Can you explain?
If we have AB and BC in R. So suppose we have 4, 4 here. So we don't have any element starting with 4, right? This is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
only one element which is starting with 4, right?
Yes.
So again, you can take it as AB. Again, you can take it as BC. Then again, you can take it as AC. So the condition is satisfying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this relation is equivalent relation. And this
Ma'am,
is the
how
limit.
it is transitive, ma'am? C cannot be taken as same element. But
Yes?
ma'am, in एक row से we have to take the all the possible outcomes
We
equivalent.
have to find the minimum number of elements. So for the minimum number of elements, we can consider the least possible cardinality, right? So I think it's now okay for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the next question. We have A, B, C, and you have to find the cardinality of A minus B cross the intersection C.
Ma'am,
Yes. So what will be A minus B? The element which is in A but not in B, right? So it will be 5, 6 only. And what will be B intersection C? The element common in both B and C. So it will be 4 and 7, right? Now here we have two elements, here we have two elements. So if you take the cross product of these two sets, then it will be 5, 4, 5, 7, 6, 4, 6, 7. This 4 elements only, right? So the cardinality will be 4. Right?
yes, ma'am.
Actually, I wanted to ask one doubt.
Ma'am, please explain again.
No, one by
मैम 5,4 क्यों होगा मैम 5,6 होना चाहिए ना
because we have this two, right?
yes ma'am yes ma'am
So cross product means we will take all possible pairs. So if you have 5 here, you will take pair with both the element here.
okay ma'am
So we are taking all the possible pair, right?
yes
So
ma'am
now is it okay?
yes ma'am okay
Yeah. So we can move to the next question, right? Yes, Sarah, you have raised your hand. Any doubt?
Yeah, ma'am, I
Ma'am,
had one doubt.
ma'am,
What is the
even I
difference
have doubt in the previous question.
One by one, please. Please, one by one.
Sabari, could you mute? Sabari.
Okay.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask that what is the difference between identity and reflection?
I can hear you. Can you repeat it?
Difference between identity and reflection.
Okay. So identity, yeah, identity relation means the elements will be related to itself, but it's not mandatory for all the elements, right? And reflexive means for all the elements in A, it will be related to itself.
Okay. Can you repeat, please?
Reflexive means for all the elements in the set, it will be related to itself.
Okay.
And for identity, we are saying about a particular element.
Okay, yeah, I got that. Reflexive is all about self and identity is just about an element. Right?
Particular element. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
So, any other doubts?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, I still didn't get the transitive part of the fourth question.
Okay, so what is the condition for transitivity? If we have A and B BC in the set R, then it will imply A and C in R. So if you have this 4 element 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, then this condition you can satisfy, right?
If we take A as 4, B as 4, then what do we do?
If you take A as 4, B as 4, then you have, is there any element BC? Okay, suppose if you take A as 4, B as 4, so we have AB in R. So is there any BC in R? BC means some element which will start with the 4, right? So there is only one element which start with 4, which is 4, 4, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That means C equals to again 4, right?
Okay.
So AC will be again 4, 4, right?
What is the answer for the maximum number?
Answer is 4. Minimum number, not the maximum. Okay? This is the minimum.
Is this necessary to check the reflective, symmetry, transitive function? That's this. We can just count the number in the A, I mean the cardinality. That's a 4, 5, and 6, which is 4. That is the minimum minimum element that in the R content. If we want to know the maximum number in the R, we just multiply 4 into 4.
Power set, right? All possible. Power set, you know? Power set, you know, right?
Set of all subsets.
Yes. So, so this is the minimum. For minimum, we have to follow the reflexive condition, and for that, we need to have this 4 tuples at least. And for maximum, if we have like you have to take consider all possible tuples. If we have A equals to 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we if you consider all possible tuples like 4, 4, 4, 5, and so on, 7, 7, then it will be the maximum possible. Right? Yeah. So we can move to the next question. This is our next question. Try to solve it.
Ma'am, can you please explain again?
Which one?
Fifth number question.
Fifth
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So what is your doubt?
That only. Whole question.
So you have A, B, and C. You know what is A minus B, right? The elements which are in A but not in B. Right? This is our A. This is our B. So A minus B is the element which are in A but not in B. So just take the first element, which is 4. But we can see that 4 is in B also, right? So 4 will not be in A minus B. And 5 is not in B. So 5 and 6 is also not in B. So 6. So in A minus B, 5 and 6 both will be there, right? Similarly, B intersection C means the elements which are common in both B and C. You can see the 4 is both B and C and 7 is both B and C. Now, if we take the cross product, that means you are taking all possible tuples. Okay. Okay. So, is it fine for you now? Can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
I have doubt in the
Yes, ma'am.
previous
Yes, ma'am.
question. In the previous question, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the cardinality part here.
Yes. What is your doubt?
Ma'am, how, I mean, it is asking for the minimum cardinality. So how
Yes.
have we derived that? We will, include 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7, 7.
Because
On what?
they have said that R will be your equivalence relationship, right?
Uh-huh.
To be equivalent, reflexivity is the minimum criteria. And for
To be equivalent,
reflexivity,
reflexivity is the minimum criteria.
so if R is equivalence, then R have to be reflexive, right? And if R is reflexive, then for every A in this set, the tuple A will be in the set R, right? So we are considering the minimum number of elements here. At least these 4 elements will be there. Now we can verify, now we can check whether the set is satisfying the condition for symmetry and transitivity or not.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes.
ma'am, here it says that you gave me unmute option.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself now.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, I'm not, as you said, reflexivity is the minimum condition for equivalence. So hence we have taken the terms as 4, 4, 5, 5, 6,
Yes,
6.
yes, yes, yes.
So how, I mean, I did not understand uh, how are we taking this like the minimum condition to be
May
reflexive.
I intervene, madam, if you allow? So,
Yeah.
we have to first understand that for equivalence, function has to be reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, right?
Transitive. Correct,
Right.
correct, correct.
So, what is reflexive? First of
It will
all the
have.
elements of AA means
Ha,
4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. So what madam did, first she took the reflexive, what are the options?
ha,
Then she
ha.
checked for symmetric. Is
Yes,
those elements are symmetric or not? Yeah, 4, 4. So if consider that A is B, A is equal to B, then A, B, B, it will become a symmetric. Now
ha,
A to C, right? A and
right.
B, B and C, then AC. So because there is, if B and C is not there, so you don't want to find AC. So it's already a transitive,
Correct,
right?
correct, correct.
So
Ha, ha.
understood? So this is the
Right.
reason she takes. Okay?
Got it,
I
got
just
it, got it.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So is it now okay for you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
We can take
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is our next question. Yeah. You can look it.
Is the answer 160 for this?
Put your answer on the chat box, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I have given my answer in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So let's solve. What is the question? In a school, out of 40 students, so we have total 400 students. So now 300 students opt for at least one of biology, chemistry, or mathematics, right? Now we have, if 120 students opt for biology, that means if we consider a set of 120 students, this is a set for 120 students. And this is another set with 150 students, chemistry. And for mathematics, we have another set with, right? And you can say, you can clearly see that if we take the union of these three sets, let it denoted as T. So if we take B union C union M, then we will be T, right? The total set. Now we have there are 30 students who took all three subjects. That means the cardinality of B intersection C intersection M is 30, right? So you can draw the Venn diagram here. So this is our B. So there we have 120 students. This is our C. There we have 150 students. This is our T set. And this M for mathematics, okay? So we have to find the number of students who opted for exactly two subjects. That means B intersection C minus M union B intersection C, sorry, B intersection M minus C union M intersection C minus B. This cardinality we need, right? Yeah. So this is our aim. That means if we draw the picture here, this will be this, right? We need to find this area. So here we have A union B union C. Cardinality of A union B C is 300. So we have this formula, right? So from here, if we put the value here, then just calculate it and you can find. This is 200, right? Now if we try to draw this situation in our Venn diagram, then first A intersection B. Okay. You take A equals B set here. B means C here and C means M here. Okay. So yeah, A intersection B means actually B intersection C. So this portion is B intersection C, right? This portion is B intersection C. Again, if we consider C intersection M, so C intersection M is this portion, right? And if we take B intersection M, then it will be this portion, right? So I have the cardinality 200 for this shaded area, So you can see we counted the intersection portion for both the three sets 3 times. So if we want this area, what we can do, we can minus this intersection portion 3 times, right? Sorry, 30. So it will be 110. So this is the answer. Now you can ask if you have any doubt. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you lower the slide? Let me take a screenshot.
One by one, please. Yes.
Ma'am, I have done this question by using the formula. Using that 300 is equals to 200 plus 120 plus 150. Then I have subtracted the common parts between bio and maths and chemistry, and bio and chemistry. And then I added 90, that means thrice of the this B intersection M intersection C. So ma'am, I am getting the answer 60, not this one, 110. So this is the
Okay.
right way.
No. This is not the right process. You just try to like draw the Venn diagram and then try to analyze it, whether what you did, whether it is correct or not. Okay. If you draw your Venn diagram, then you can analyze whether it is correct or not. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have sent you a picture, but
not 5.
in my solving, I have marked all my answers correctly, but it shows a wrong. Please check.
We will discuss the doubt later. Let us first finish this one. Yeah. So, any doubt with this particular question?
Ma'am, what is that 105 number comes there? 105?
150, 150.
It will be 150.
That should be 150, na? Yeah, that's why the calculation will change.
Yeah. It will be 150 and it will be 200.
Yeah.
So, it is okay right now? So, I think you don't have any problem. We can move to the next question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
This is the next
Ma'am, why
question.
A
Try to
union
solve
B
it.
will
Put your
equal
answer in the chat.
300, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes. Can you repeat it? Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, someone want to take a screenshot for this problem? Yeah. Okay, so we can solve this problem now. What is this saying? Okay. So the total length of the fence is 100 feet, right? So if you have a rectangular garden and the total length of this fence is 100 feet, that means the perimeter is actually 100 feet, right? So and for perimeter, we have the formula 2 into L plus B, right? So from here, we can simplify it and we can check that L equals to, sorry, B equals to 50 minus L. So this one we, now she want to adjust the length so that she can get the maximum area possible for the garden. So area for a rectangle is length into breadth, right? So we can look from this two equation, this equation and this equation, we can follow that. It will be this, right? And just simplify it, 50L minus L square. So now we have a function A equals to 50L L square. And we want to check what is the maximum value of A. For what value of L, the value of A will be maximum. So for this, we have if we take the derivative of A with respect to L, then it will be 50 minus 12, right? And if we equate this with 0, then we can find L equals to 25. So this is the critical point for this function, right? And this point, the function will have a maximum. So yeah, this is the procedure. Now you can ask if you have a doubt regarding that.
Ma'am, could you please explain it again?
Ma'am, basically what we are trying to do is we want to find the vertex of this parabola.
No. See, uh, here we have a function and we have to find the value of L for which the value of A will be maximum. Okay. So for a function, you have to basically find a maxima.
Yes, ma'am. So the vertex, because it is a negative uh, quadratic equation, I think the vertex gives that L is equal to 25.
Okay. So yeah, you
You
want
can
to
apply minus b by 2a.
Here, if you have a function, no, we don't need the vertex here. You need to find the value of L for which value the function A will be maximum. So for this, we are using this procedure, this derivative procedure. What we know, we can find the critical point. If we have a function, if we derivative it and equate it with 0, then the root will be the critical points, right? So whether it will be a minima or it can be maxima or it can be saddle point. So that also we can see, right? Here we have L equals to 25 as our maxima. So if we put L equals to 25 in our equation, then we will reach to the maximum value. So you want
Basically,
to,
the value should be equal, ma'am, to get maximum. Both length and breadth value should be equal.
yes. Yeah, if L equals to 25, we can put the value of L in this equation. From here, we can find B equals to 50 minus 25, which is again 25. Yeah.
Ma'am, if the length is equal to breadth, then it will become a square, ma'am. How it is be a rectangular plot?
So square is also a particular case of rectangle. So you can consider it in that. So it's fine for you right now. I hope you don't have any problem. Ma'am, can you explain the last part? Which one?
If we find minus b by 2a, then length is also 25.
Yeah. That is also you can do if you like consider this as a equation of a parabola. That is also you can do. This is another process. You can take the derivative and equate it as 0. Then you can find the value of L. So these are two processes. So it's fine now. Okay. So from this, we have L equals to B equals to 25, right? And here in the next question, the maximum possible area. So this will be L into B. That means 25 into 25. This is 625, right? So I hope you don't have any doubt with this questions. We can move to the next question. This is your next question. So yeah, take your time to solve it. Write your answer on the chat box, okay? No need to answer. This question we have already solved in the next session. sorry, in the previous session, we already solved this question, right? So I'm doing this for you again. We have, okay, yeah, I'm doing this for you it again. So we have this parabola and this line. Yeah. And this line g equals to x minus 3, right? So what they ask, yeah. So the structure will collapse if the roller coaster touches or intersect the line. Okay. So this uh, there is, if there exists any common point in both fx and gx, right? That means if we can find a real root for the equation fx equals to gx. Now you have f, you have g, you can calculate it. So x squared minus mx plus 1, that is equals to x minus 3, right? And it will be x squared minus mx plus 1 minus x plus 3 equals to 0. So x squared minus m plus 1 x plus 4. So this equation we have, right? So we have to find the condition such that the equation has, this equation has no real root. That means the discriminant should be less than 0, right? For this equation, the discriminant should be less than 0, right? So, yeah. Now let's check the options. If f and g touches each other at a point, then fx equals to gx at that point. This is correct, right? At this point, the if f and g touches at some point, then at this point they will be same, right? This point will satisfy both the equations, so they will be same at this point. So option A is correct, right? If option 2, if Aditya makes sure that the structure do not collapse, then the discriminant of this function will be lesser than 0. So this is also correct. Yeah. And option C and option D, both are incorrect, because here the discriminant for the option C, they said that discriminant will be 0. And for the option D, they said that this must be greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then we can find some real root, right? Yeah. So only option A and option B are correct. Yeah. If you have doubt, you can ask it.
मैम प्लीज
Ma'am,
रिपीट
if you
क्वेश्चन थोड़ा
have
समझ नहीं आया है
Yeah, please repeat.
One by one, please. One by one, please.
Can you explain the second option again?
Yeah, ma'am. Option B, ma'am.
Yeah. What is your problem with the option B?
Ma'am, why are you saying that the structure will not collapse when the discriminant will
Okay.
be fx
So
minus g equal to 0?
the question you can see, the structure will collapse if the roller coaster touches or intersect. If the roller coaster touches or intersect, then they will have a common point, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That means fx equals to gx. This equation will satisfy for
Yes,
some
ma'am.
point, for that point, right? That means fx minus gx, this equation will have some real root, right?
Correct, ma'am.
Okay. So this is our function fx minus gx. If this function has any real root, then the discriminant will be greater or equals to 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if the structure do not collapse, that means this equation, this do not have any real root, right? And for this, we have the condition the discriminant must be strictly less than 0, right?
Yes, ma'am. Got your point, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, please repeat this question once again.
Yeah. What is your doubt?
I'm not clear about the options.
Okay. So here they asked the structure will collapse if the roller coaster touches or intersects. The first option is clear, right?
Yes.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So for the second option, this if the structure do not collapse, then this equation, this do not have any real root, right? Right?
Yeah.
If it has
Yes, ma'am.
any real root, then the structure will collapse. So if the structure do not collapse, then it doesn't have any real root, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For a equation, quadratic equation, if it has no real root, then what will be the condition for it? The discriminant must be less than 0, right? Strictly less than 0, right? That is what we're doing here. If Aditya makes sure that the structure do not collapse, then the discriminant of the function must be lesser than 0. Because if the structure do not collapse, then this function fx minus gx equals to 0, this function doesn't have any real root. And if it has no real root, then the discriminant will be less than 0, right?
Ma'am, if it is less than 0, then it is negative, like it becomes complex number, right?
Yes. So no real root.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think now it is clear.
The point of intersections are zeros, right, ma'am?
Yes. The point of intersection at zeros of this function, fx minus gx equals to 0. So should we move to the next question now? Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it a significant to have this gx equation there? Because anyway, theoretically, if we consider this question, we can just check the option and figure out the which is correct, which is not correct.
Yes, theoretically we can do that, but I think in the next question we will need this. That's why I calculated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So next question. Okay, next. Enter an integer value for m such that the structure will not collapse. So we can enter some integer value. For that, the structure will not collapse. So again, this is clear. The answer is not unique. We can have many integer value. For that, the structure will not collapse. We have that condition that the discriminant will be less than 0. So if we find the discriminant of this one, this will be discriminant will be m plus 1 squared minus 16, right? If we break this, it will be m squared plus 2m plus 1 minus 16, which is m squared plus 2m minus 15. If we find the root, for this function m squared plus 2m minus 15 equals to 0. So what will be the roots? What will be the roots? Pn minus 5. These are the roots, right? Yes. That means we can break this as m plus 5 m minus 3, right? So this is our discriminant. So if d is less than 0, that implies m plus 5 m minus 3 is less than 0, right? So if it is less than 0, that means one of these two factor will be less than 0. So we can conclude either m plus 5 is less than 0 or m minus 3 is less than 0. If this happens, then m will be less than minus 5 and m will be less than 3 greater than minus 3. And here m minus 3 is positive, so m is greater than 3. So we have two intervals. M may be greater than minus 5 and less than 3, or m may be less than minus 5 or m may be greater than 3. So these are the possibilities, right? So we can pick up any integer which is in this portion, right?
Ma'am, please explain the last portion.
Repeat it, ma'am.
Madam, it should be minus 5 or minus 5.
Is it fine?
Because how I did,
Ma'am,
because may I please?
yeah.
Is it fine?
Yeah. Because m plus 1 minus 16. So what I did is less than 0. So I took 16 that side. So m plus square, then plus minus 4. M plus 1 plus minus 4. So either take 1 that side because minus 1. So it's become somewhere around 3 minus and 4. So I don't know.
Minus 3, right? These are the
Minus,
roots.
yeah, and 5. So it should be between
Minus
minus 3
5
and 5. Or minus 5.
This is 4 and minus 3 and minus 5, right? The roots are 3 and minus 5, right? That means we can factorize this equation in this way, right?
Ma'am, the answer is -5. Right or wrong?
The answer is -5.
Yeah.
No, ma'am, minus
So
3 is
Because
answer.
-5 is lesser than 0. So
minus
that the
5,
structure is not collapsed.
no, minus 5 satisfies this any of this condition.
That is lesser than -5. -5 is not included there. -4 is included.
Yes. So -5 doesn't satisfy any of this condition, right?
Yes.
So if you put -5, you can see that this will not collapse. Sorry, this will collapse. Okay, you can take any integer from this interval, either from this interval or from this interval.
Ma'am, can explain how we got that interval again?
How did you use -16, that equation?
Okay, so see, what was our condition? Then the discriminant will be lesser than 0, right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we found that this is our discriminant. That means this equations x plus m plus 5 into m minus 3 will be less than 0. Up to that, this is fine, right?
But
Now,
ma'am, in the interval of 3, ma'am, 2 is also greater than 0.
So from this condition, we can have only two options. Like if this is negative and this is some positive number, then if we multiply a negative number and a positive number, it will be negative. Otherwise, this can be negative and this can be positive, right? These two cases we have, and we are considering these two cases, this and this. And from this, we can have this interval. Now you can take any number from this interval. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. I think you don't have any doubt now.
Ma'am, I can't understand the question 10th. Yes, ma'am. Can you explain the question 10?
Okay. This is the saying enter an integer value of m such that the structure will not collapse. So you have to find some integer value for which the structure will not collapse. And in this question, we have already seen that if the structure collapse, then the discriminant will be strictly less than 0, right? Then the discriminant will be strictly less than 0. So what you can do, you just find the discriminant for this function. If you have this function, right? You can find the discriminant and just apply the condition here. Discriminant will be strictly less than 0. And from this, you can find some interval, solution interval for this inequality. And if you take any integer value from this solution interval of this inequality, it will satisfy. It will satisfy this condition, which is given in the question.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, ma'am. Understand.
So you
Thank
mean
you.
to say that given range what we have derived, so if the value is in that range, the structure won't collapse.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so if I give
-3,
-3,
you can clearly see that if m not equals to -5 or 3, then the structure will not collapse.
But ma'am, in this question, there are many answers.
Yeah. You can pick any integer from this interval. Any integer.
Okay.
The answer is
Understood,
not
ma'am.
unique. Yeah. The answer is not unique. You can pick any integer which satisfies
what
this.
what
Okay, thank
exactly that m value actually like?
No,
Like
there is
what
no
is that? It's a
exact value for m. There is no exact value for m. We have
No, no,
arrived
no, no.
to
My
some
my
interval
question
for
is
m.
my question is what is that value called? It's like height, width, or it's a kind of a weight of that roller coaster, or what?
Can you repeat it? I didn't get.
Means what exactly this m value is? Is it like a height of that roller coaster, width of the roller coaster, or
Okay.
because they just
So then
mentioned some equation?
you have the equation for the roller coaster, right? Which is a parabola, which is similar to a parabola, and which is x square minus mx plus 1. And in this equation, you can see what is the role of m here, right?
Oh, okay.
Using m is not exactly the height of this roller coaster, but using m, you can calculate the height. So there is a role of m.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So you can move to the next question now, right? So this is your next question. Uh, the first question is you have to find the value of k. Find the value of k. This is your data, given data. Write your answer on the chat box. Okay. So, yeah, we have given the equation for Px, the parabola, which is x minus 2, x minus 4 plus a. So we have Px equals to x minus 2, x minus 4 plus a. So I can simplify this equation, right? Square minus 6x plus 6. Then this sum we can write this equation. Now we have 4 values for x, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Now x equals to 1, x equals to 2, x equals to 3. For these values of x, what will be p of 1, p of 2, p of 3, and p of 6? You can calculate this. Just put here x equals to 1. So it will be minus 1 minus 3 plus k. That is 3 plus k, right? For 2, it will be k. For this, it will be 1 minus 1 plus k. That is k minus 1. And for 6, it will be 4 into 2 plus k, which is k plus 8. And what is the value given for y here? 13 when x equals to 1. Y equals to 10 when x equals to 9. Y equals to 9 when x equals to 3. And y equals to 8 when x equals to 6. So that we have, right? So from here, we can calculate the error. Error 1 is 13 minus 3 minus k, which is 10 minus k. Error 2 is 10 minus k. Error 3 is 10 minus k. And error 4 is 10 minus k. So from the SLC method, we can see that this will be 10 minus k squared, right? So if we get the best fittings, that means the error will be 0. So the squared sum of the error will be 0, right? And from here we can find the value of k, which is 10. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, CCV 30 मिली एम्पियर में होना चाहिए, चूक करना चाहिए, सब बोलना है,
Yeah.
बस यही सब
So,
कुछ है। तो और अपना जो
yes.
Ma'am, how SSC is 0?
Because we want to find the best fitting, right? Right? If we want to find the best fitting, then the square sum of the errors will be 0. If the error is 0, if the squared sum of the error is 0, then the fitting is best, right?
Just show
That
the
will
question.
Madam, this will be applicable for all the situations where you want to say the best fit, the best option available.
Can you repeat it?
It means in all the questions will be suppose the scenarios where you want to say the best curve or best possible, then it will be true. SSC will be 0. In that case, can we take it and move forward?
No. If we want to find the best fitting or the best thing, then the error must be like 0, or at least this should be nearer to 0. If it is not possible to be 0, then it should be something near, very close to 0, right? We can have some equation which doesn't have any root for like any real root. We can find some such equation, right?
Yeah.
So for this kind of equation, just for example, suppose if instead of 10 minus k, if we have 10 plus k, then okay, then also here we have a real root, but we can find some equation, something like that. If we have something like that, then there will be no such real roots, right?
Yeah, because it's a minus. Yeah, no deal with that.
In that case, we can like find the exact value for which this is 0, but we can find something for which the error will be close to 0. Here, the error is, we can find a value for k for which the error is 0, actually 0. So this is the best fitting, right?
Yeah. But I was just trying to understand, suppose in this such scenario patients we are asked, what is the best fit available? For suppose here a constant has been given and we identify till that it was easier one, but may some questions may be more complicated. So for you to find the root of k, so you identify the k value, right? that's what you want to, and then you just
Yes, yes.
derive your.
Yeah,
That's what
this
you
is
want to
this
say.
is the general process where you can do all.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's fine now. So yeah, this is our next question. What will be the height? You can see the picture. This is the height is h. So what will be the value of h here? Okay, so we have two answers, three answers. So you're saying it's 18. So here we can consider this axis, x or x-axis, and this as our y-axis, right? And here we have a equation of a parabola. Then we can find the y-intercept here, right? And this y-intercept will be the height. So you have the equation. Equals to x minus 3 square plus 10 minus 1, that is x minus 3 square plus 9. This parabola we have. Now from here we can find the y-intercept, right? Y-intercept means we will put x equals to 0 here. Then y will be so this point is 0, 18, right? So the height will be 18. So is it fine with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. How you find this equation, ma'am?
Because we got the value of k, right? Just put the value of k here and you will find the equation. Yes.
Ma'am, if we try to
Excuse me,
find
ma'am.
the coordinate of vertex, it's also coming out to be 18.
No, the vertex will be
The vertex.
3,
No. You mean to say you need to calculate the y intercept.
First, I have calculated the x value, that is minus b upon 2a, which is coming out to be 6. And against 6, I am getting y as 18. Maybe I'm
No, b upon 2a is 3.
Yes.
Then maybe I've done some calculation mistake.
If you calculate
Ma'am, I'm
that
still not able
vertex
to
is
understand
3,
why
9.
you took SSC to be 0 only.
Okay. So we need the best fittings, right? And when the error is 0, then we will get the best fitting, right? You have for some function, suppose you have a exact value and an approx value, and we have some unknown constant, and we want to find that for which value of this k the error will be lesser. So the minimum error, what it can be? 0, right? Error cannot be negative, right? So the minimum possible error is 0, right?
So, ma'am, whenever such kind of question which contains a constant, we always assume the SSC to be 0 only, so we can
If you
calculate the
want to
constant.
find the best fitting, then the error will be 0. Yeah. SSC
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you explain the error part?
Error part means that's what I just explained now. No, I want to find the best fittings, and for that, the error will be 0. If the errors, if the SSC is 0, that means the squared sum will be 0, right? And this means errors are 0, right? Right? I hope this is clear to you now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, is it fine? The height is 18. So, yeah. 13th question. Write your answer on the chat box. Okay, I will share the PDF. The equation was of polynomial. So how did you found the height using that? So this was a polynomial, but it was particularly a parabola, right? And we are considering this is y-axis. So if we find the y-intercept, then we will find the height. How to find SSC? SSC means just you have to find the errors, x squared, and then add them. This is the SSC. Squared sum of errors, nothing more than that. Yeah. So let us solve the 13th question. We have if x equals to x to the power 4 minus 16x cubed plus 94 x squared minus 240x plus 225 and gx equals to minus here they give that gx divide fx. That means these two factors, x minus 5 and x minus 3, also factor of fx, right? So we can factorize f with the help of these two. So we can adjust f such that first we will try to find this factor, okay? First our target is to find this factor here. So we have x to the power 4 minus 5x squared, sorry, cube minus 11x cube plus 55 x square plus 14 x square minus 195x minus 45x. Now from this we can take this will be this. Again, we can break this using the help of this. So we will try to factorize this equation with this. So it will be x cubed minus 2x squared minus 8x squared plus 24x right? So we can take x minus 3 as common. Then it will be x squared minus 8x plus 15. Again, we can do the same thing and we can factorize this x squared we have this, right? So from here, you can find that the root of f will be the roots are 5 and 3, right? Roots are 5 or 3, right? So the number of real roots are 4, right? Right? No, this is not necessary. They may have different number of real roots. Yeah. So number of real roots is 4. If they ask you about the number of distinct real root, then it would be 2. but the number of real root is 4. So have you any doubt? I hope you don't have any doubt.
But 2 because we have
In the
been
question, the gx divides fx, na? So we will divide it first and then calculate the real roots. So it will come 2.
Yeah.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Even with that method, we are getting total number
Here
of
we
root as 4, ma'am.
Yes.
Total number of roots are 4, but when we say the total number of roots are 4, then do we actually need to see whether they are distinct or not?
No, no, no. When they have said you to find the total number of roots, then you need not to see whether they are distinct or not. If they want distinct roots, then they will mention that the total number of distinct roots.
Okay, ma'am. Got it, ma'am.
Ma'am, please repeat this.
Ma'am, please repeat.
Here they have to find you the number of roots, right? Not the distinct roots. If they have asked about the number of distinct roots, then it is 2. But total number of roots is 4, right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
here gx divide by ma'am, but here gx divide fx. So, ma'am, this condition.
I'm listening. Yes. Okay.
Ma'am, can you please explain sum squared error using some example, ma'am?
This was one example, right?
Ma'am, generally that concept alone.
Sum square error is just the sum of errors. Just errors, take squares and then sum it. This is sum of square.
Ma'am, if we get a k value as in one question, ma'am, k has 2 different values, ma'am. Then how to finalize one correct value of k, ma'am, using SSE?
So there is only one value for A, right?
Ma'am, in graded assignment question or some question, I saw that there is 2 values of k. For example, k equal to 2 and k equal to 3, ma'am. I mean k equal to 3 and k equal to 4.
Then try to read the question properly. There may be some hint what value you should take for k. There may be some hint, obviously, definitely.
But they have told that it should have minimum SSE, ma'am. So I saw that there is a 3 and 4. The 2 values I found as integers, ma'am. But the answer is
There must be some hint which value we should take. This maybe this question was like multiple select question. Otherwise, there
no,
must be some hint.
Integer, the condition is minimum SSE, ma'am.
Okay, so I can't tell you anything about the graded assignment right now. What I can say, there must be some hint. You can read the question. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. But what is the general procedure to find SSE? Like,
this is the procedure only. Nothing more than that. You have to calculate the error, then square it and sum it. Nothing more than that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is fine now, no? Okay. So this is our 14th question, the last one. So what is the answer? What's the question? So here we have to find the point of intersections, right? That means this equation, if x equals to gx. If x equals to, we already have x minus 5 square, x minus 3 square, and gx equals to x minus 5, x minus 3, right? So we did a similar kind of question in the previous session also. Now we can take x minus 5 and x minus 3 as common. Then it will be x minus 5, x minus 3 minus 1 equals to 0. So it will be x squared minus 2x. So the common intersecting points are 3, 5, and 4. So this is the only point, right? Which is not a root for both the equations. So this is our answer. Fine? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So yeah, if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Yes, I had a doubt in graded assignment before.
Okay, so about graded assignment, I can't tell you anything right now.
Ma'am, week 4 has already been submitted on Wednesday this week. So it's done
Okay, so
already.
what was the deadline?
This Wednesday, ma'am, 2 days back.
Okay. So yeah.
I just have a basic doubt, ma'am. Not a particular question as such. There was a question in which the graph of parabola was drawn, and the vertex and the y-intercept was mentioned. So the vertex was mentioned as 3, and it was an upward parabola towards the positive y-axis. It was opening, yeah. The vertex was given as 3. It was touching the x-axis. Yeah.
3?
And the y-intercept was given as 27, 0, 27. So it was touching at, yeah. And we were asked to find the equation of it. I was calculating it, but I was getting something wrong. So I just wanted to ask where I was going wrong.
Okay, so can you tell me? It was something like that. No?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So this was 3,
This
0.
Yes, and that was 0, 27.
Okay. Yeah. So what was the problem? What was the problem? Am I audible? If you have vertex like that, you can give this. Right? And you have this point in here. So just try to satisfy this. It will be that means a equals to 27 by 9. So this 3. So y equals to 3 into x minus 3 squared. So this will be the equation.
Ma'am, I have
Got it.
sent
Thank you.
I have sent a file in the chat box. Can you please explain that question?
Ma'am, the answer of question number 13 is 2.
Which one?
Question number that we have discussed.
Find the distinct root. Or
Ma'am, this one.
Okay, if they mean that after dividing with the polynomial g, what will be the number of real root of fx, then it may be 2. But if
Yes,
we
ma'am.
want to find the number of total root of f, then it will be 4. I
Yes,
think in
ma'am.
this question, they mean that after
they want
dividing by the
after
polynomial
process.
g, what will be the root? Yeah, then it will be 2. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
please
Thank
explain question number 3, ma'am.
Question
Ma'am,
number
can you
3.
explain question number 14, last question?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Then how we divide, ma'am, fx and gx, I think.
Okay, so any other doubts?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. The question is
Yes, ma'am, I have posted a doubt in the chat box.
Okay.
Then how we simplify the fx?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, I got one question. The value of the quadratic function fx increasing in this interval and decreasing. Okay. Also, this which of the following statement is true? So, what is your problem in this question, Sarah? Do you have a
Excuse me, ma'am.
function? Yes.
Can you explain question number 12? Just explained before.
Is this one? No? Fx increases over the interval and decreases over the interval. Then what of which of the following statements are true? This one, right? I can't see any question number here.
Hello? Hello,
ma'am,
ma'am.
there is one question, ma'am. That is under root x square minus 9 upon x plus 3.
About which question you are talking?
Ma'am, it's from graded assignment week 1 or 2 maybe.
Okay,
Under
okay.
root under
Let
root
us.
x square minus 9.
So what is your problem? Under root x square
Ma'am,
minus 9.
upon x plus 3. Ma'am, cardinality we have to discuss.
So you were given this type of what
Function.
is the set?
What, ma'am?
This is from graded assignment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But in
Yes.
the previous graded assignment.
Week
Yes, ma'am.
1.
Week 1 maybe, yes. Ma'am, the cardinality we have to tell.
Just wait. Yes, Krishna, you can unmute yourself. There is no problem to unmute yourself.
Ma'am, please explain question number 3, ma'am.
Question number 3 means
Ma'am, that multiple select questions, ma'am, regarding one function in the respective interval.
I can see only there are 2 questions here, which I will pick one by one.
Ma'am, a polynomial is given and they are asking what
Ma'am,
are the correct options. There are exactly 8 points where the slope can be 0, strictly increasing
he is
1.
asking in the same like today's session, the question number 3 or the
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This session. So yeah, this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is your problem?
Ma'am, please explain this question, ma'am.
So you have given the polynomial here. You can draw the graph of the polynomial with the using this points and their exponents, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, you can consider the end variable. Then you can draw the graph. Okay. And from the graph, you can verify the options. So the first option is there are exactly 8 points on P where the slope of the tangent can be 0. So we can find this point. Let me use another color. So at this point, so there are total 8 points, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So at this point, the slope of the tangent will be 0. The first option is correct. Now
Okay,
the second
ma'am.
option. Now the second option, Px is strictly increasing when x is in the interval minus infinity minus 2 in this interval. So this is wrong, right? Because this is Px in this interval, which is strictly decreasing, not increasing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that's
Ma'am,
why the
excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, actually it is above the x-axis, so it is increasing only, right? For minus infinity to minus 2, it is above the x-axis means it is increasing, right?
No, not like that. When x is increasing, then the function is decreasing, right? The function is actually decreasing. This.
Actually, they are asking from minus infinity to minus 2. So if we are considering this now, so it will be going down means it is actually increasing only now.
No. Why? This is the interval. This is going down, means this is decreasing, right?
For example, if we are considering from minus 1 to 0, we say that it is decreasing because it is coming downwards. It is below the x-axis.
In this interval, right? This is increasing. This is increasing here.
Okay, we have to consider the half of the wave.
Yes.
Okay.
Minus 1 to 0, the function is increasing. Again, from this to this point, the function is increasing. From this to this, the function is again decreasing. From this point to this point also. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So the next option, P is a 1 function when it will when the interval is minus infinity to 2, union 4 to infinity. So yeah, if we draw this will be something like that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is 1 because we can consider the values. The option 4 is clearly not correct because
Yes, ma'am.
for any point here, yeah, we can see. And the rest of the answers are also clear, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So any doubt regarding this session? I hope you don't regarding this session, right? If you have any doubt regarding today's session, then you can ask.
Ma'am, you have muted everybody, ma'am. They can't unmute, ma'am, it seems.
Ma'am, just one question.
You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself, no problem.
Ma'am, please explain the question which is displayed on the screen.
This one.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your doubt? Like in which part you have doubt?
Ma'am, the question that you have wrote on a screen under root x square minus 9 upon x plus 3 cardinality.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, let us first clear the doubt in this question. So can you
Ma'am,
please
the
say
question number 3. Sorry. The question number 3, what you just explained, that time I was on mute, so I was not able to ask you this question. Can I ask you this question next 1 minute so you can? the one which you just mentioned, the polynomial question. Um,
This
uh,
question.
s- uh, yeah, ma'am. Yeah, the same question. Here, because my question is how we can start this one, because it may be the same one you have already explained, but sorry to once again ask you this one. The starting of the graph is starting from the increasing or decreasing, this way you explained one time. So do we need to check the maximum degree of that and then decide depend upon that degree? Can you just
Yeah.
explain these
No,
two lines there?
you can examine the end behavior when x is tends to infinity. What will be the end behavior of px, and when x is tends to minus infinity, then what will be the end behavior of px? You can analyze it. You can look it. Then you can draw the graph. Here, when x is tends to minus infinity, we can see the px will be tends to infinity. So the starting of the graph will be from the upward. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Because every time because what I earlier tried is maybe that was a mistake what I tried. It is something like x minus 1. I started with the first equation like x minus 1. So like see the what is the graph it looks like. So I never maybe consider the degree, but now as you mentioned, I need to calculate the complete
Correct.
degree
So
and
yeah,
then
you should
I need
compute
to
the end behavior also.
okay.
Ma'am,
Excuse me.
it
Ma'am,
will
can
be for
you
both
provide this
plus
PDF in the
infinity and
chat box,
minus
please?
infinity.
One by one, please. One by one.
Ma'am, can you please provide this PDF in the chat box, please?
Yeah, I do. But if you want it right now, you can take a screenshot because it is in my notes. So I have to make the PDF first.
Ma'am, for the same question, ma'am, what you are saying is at the end we need to check for minus infinity and also for plus infinity. The end behavior, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, can you please explain, ma'am, the how did you draw this graph, this entire graph? Only by looking at the equation after factorization, ma'am.
Okay. So you have the roots, right?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have the roots. So you have already learned if you have some even power, then it will be something like
Touching,
that.
yeah, it touches.
Yeah.
Bouncing
If
back.
you have a linear power, then it will just cross the point, and you
Yeah,
have
ma'am.
some odd power, then it will have something like that at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you can use these things, and you can analyze the ending behaviors. Then you can plot the graph. For this, like here we have x, when x tends to minus infinity, px tends to infinity. That means the starting here, this will be upward direction, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we have the point -2 and we have the exponent. So here it will be something like that.
Yes,
Again,
ma'am.
we have this -1 as root. So it will cross it
Yes, ma'am.
and so on.
Okay, ma'am. Got it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And ma'am, here you check the what is the maximum degree here?
Not exactly the maximum degree. Uh, you, you need to check this because of the end behavior. Actually, better you can like check it by the factors. Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, is there any relationship between the multiplicity and the total number of roots, ma'am?
Multiplicity and total number of roots? No. Like, no, there is not such relation. At least I don't know about it.
Okay, ma'am.
Such. So this is correct. Fine now.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in last question.
Yes, just wait. Some of you are asking that you cannot unmute yourself,
Yes, ma'am.
but why? I don't know
Ma'am,
because
the thing is, once we mute ourselves after you unmute us, then we are not getting the option to unmute again.
Yes, ma'am.
okay. But I allowed everyone to unmute themselves.
Yeah,
Still,
ma'am. It's once you do that unmute, and let's say if I have asked some question and again muted myself, then I'm not able to unmute again, ma'am. Then again you will have to unmute me.
That's it.
okay. Okay.
Ma'am, can you please repeat question number 14?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I
Yes.
have also doubt in question number 14.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
me too.
Ma'am, can you please take my conceptual doubt once, please?
What? In
Ma'am,
which
actually,
question?
no, ma'am, it's not a question, but ma'am, my collective doubt regarding a bunch of questions is that there are a set of polynomials for which we are not able to draw a graph properly. So, hence, we are not able to draw a graph properly. We are not able to calculate the actual or exact number of turning points. So, ma'am, what can we do as we won't be able to use Desmos in exams also? So how can we just calculate the exact number of turning
I
points for
think
such
if
polynomial?
you if you have provide some graph for which you cannot do the exact polynomial for which you cannot do the exact graph, they will not for the exact number of turning point. They will definitely ask for the upper bound for the number of turning points. I think because if you have a general graph, you can say about the upper bound of the graph, like upper bound of the number of turning points. But if you are not able to plot the graph, then it's quite difficult to say about the exact number of turning. So they will ask about the maximum number of turning points, I think.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is your doubt in question number 14?
Ma'am, I just want to know that what is this question actually want to know
Okay.
in
So
last fx and gx.
make this question here. We have some district when these two polynomial will intersect, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So from here, we can find at this 3.3, 5, and 4, at this 3 point, the polynomial will intersect. So these 3 points are common with both the polynomial, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, they want to know if the first two are at x-intercept of f and g, then they want you to give the third point, which is 4. Because we have already seen that 3 and 5 are the x-intercept of f and g both, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there are only one option, which is 4, which is not a x-intercept for f and not a x-intercept for g also, right?
But ma'am, how
Yes,
we
ma'am.
simplify fx, ma'am?
What?
How can we simplify fx? Because it is polynomial degree 4.
Okay, so we
Just
did this.
just divide it by
We did
gx.
this step by step, right?
Yeah.
We did this step by step. You can see this. You can take a screenshot. If you need the solution now, you can take the screenshot also.
Ma'am, we
Because
can also divide it by gx.
yes?
We can also divide it by gx and we got answer x square minus 8x plus 15.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually,
Yeah.
even that
Yeah,
is
you can
the
also do that. That
yes,
you
ma'am.
can also do. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
No issue with this. Yeah. So is it fine now? 13 and 14 one?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am, can
yeah.
you explain the height of the Carpenter question? Second part.
So this question.
Height of
Yeah.
the yes, ma'am, wooden block.
In this graph, if I take this line, the height as our y-axis and the below line as our x-axis, then is it then enough to find the y-intercept of the parabola?
Yes.
We took this border as our y-axis, right? So
Yes.
is it enough to find to
अबे
the
ये कौन लड़ रहा है
y-intercept
तुझसे?
of the parabola?
अबे
Ma'am, I can't
So
understand second part completely.
if we find the y-intercept, if I find the y-intercept for the parabola, then we will find the height, right? Because we have taken the this side, the side of this box as our y-axis, right?
Yes.
So any doubt regarding this session?
Fourth
No,
question.
ma'am.
Okay. So I hope we can end up with this session because it's already 10. So I can't extend
Ma'am,
this.
please tell the question that you have wrote on a screen at the last cardinality.
This one?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was your question exactly?
Ma'am, we have to find its cardinality. It's a function.
Okay, so it's a function. So just try to. I think you have to find the number of x such that this satisfies, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
X
there are
can't be
three.
minus 3 and x can't be less than 0.
What?
X can't be minus 3 and x can't be less than, in numerator x can't be less than 0.
Square minus 9
Or less
Ma'am,
than
from
9,
numerator,
greater than 0.
from we get two values, -3 and 3.
So
Yeah.
x greater than -2. And from here we have x plus 3, x minus 3 by x plus 3, right? So it will
Yes.
be x minus 3, x plus 3. So if we have x greater than -3 with this, then we are done, right? Okay.
I have a doubt in fourth one.
Fourth one.
Yes, ma'am.
This one.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am,
what
for
is it?
example, now if you are taking only 4, 4, also the conditions are getting satisfied no, ma'am. Then why we are taking a 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7,
No,
7?
If you took only, if you take only 4, 4, then it will not be reflexive, right?
Reflexive.
Because for being reflexive, we have to R have to contain A, A for every A belongs to capital A.
Ma'am,
So
could you
this is
repeat
for
that?
all the
That is the
elements.
difference
It is
between
not for
identity
single.
relation and reflexive relation. Okay.
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I explain this one? Ma'am, this question fourth.
Yeah, sure.
See, for a relation to be an equivalence relation, you have to satisfy three properties, that is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Now, and any one of these cannot be, you cannot have an equivalence relation if any one of any one of these properties is not satisfied. So let's say we start with reflexive property. What reflexive property says is all elements of the set A must relate to themselves. That is, when you say A cross A, then the reflexive set will contains all the values that are 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, 6, and 7, 7. So this set is having the reflexive property satisfied for the set A cross A. So this property must be satisfied for a relation to be an equivalence. This is one of the properties. Similarly for symmetric properties and similarly for transitive properties. Unless and until they individually satisfy, you cannot have an equivalence relation. So let's say if you say 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7, 7 is the set which you have. Now let's say whether all these conditions are being satisfied or not. If we go with reflexive property, it is satisfied. If we go with symmetric property, again it is satisfied. And same with the transitive property. That's why we are saying the relation is an equivalence
No,
relation.
no. We maybe what was the question is something she was asking, like if there is just single 4, 4. So that was her
So,
assumption. Maybe that
yeah,
is
so
fine.
that
Like
will
no
not
need to have.
become, it is not satisfying reflexive property.
Yeah. So all the elements should be satisfied. All the elements should fulfill that.
The tuple A should be in the set R. Okay.
Ma'am, like if only 4, 4 is like if we are considering a relation, it should have all the reflexive means all the sets.
All the elements of A should be follow this property for all the elements of A. For symmetry and for transitive, we don't need the property for all the elements. Here, if there is AB, then it will imply that BA will be in the set. For transitive also, we don't need all the elements. But for reflexivity, we need all the elements. Okay?
Clear, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, one more question in that same case, transitive. If there is a AB, BC, and if there is a instead of AC, there is a CA.
Okay.
So is it kind of a transitive or no? Like
no, if it is not symmetric, then there is CA, that doesn't imply there is AC, right? If it is not symmetric.
Okay.
But if it is symmetric, if there is AC or CA, then there will be again AC, right?
yes. Okay.
Ma'am,
Because we had one questions into our earlier assignments that frog, fox, so many like these kind of combinations, but that the answers were somewhat different.
No,
Maybe I need to
if
relook.
the relation is not symmetry, you can change the order of the pair. Okay, these are ordered pair here. So you can change the order of the pair. AC and CA are not same. If the relation is not symmetric, then if there is AC, there may not be CA in the set. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
ma'am, in third question, ma'am. Ma'am, in the solution they have given that minus infinity to 2, it's like strictly increasing, ma'am, but it's decreasing only, no, ma'am.
Okay, I will check the solution. I think there may be some mistake with it. But yeah, in this graph, this is decreasing only.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, according to me, the reason behind this is because it is taken from minus infinity to 2, minus 2. Not from minus 2 to minus infinity.
No. This is not. See, if you have this graph here,
yeah.
If we just separate it, we have this graph here, right? So if we take a x here and x plus 1 here, sorry, this is our xn, this is our xn plus 1. So this xn plus 1 is greater than this xn, right?
Yes.
But if you look at the functional value, this functional value is less than this functional value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The equality is
decreasing.
reverse here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Inequality is reverse here, right? So it will be decreasing. It should be decreasing. I will check with the answers again so that we can update the answer. Yeah.
Ma'am, and also in the seventh question, that the fence question, ma'am, we are taking like the side to be 25 because square is also a kind of rectangle. That's why we are taking 25, ma'am.
Square is kind of rectangle. Yeah.
So
For
that's
the
why we can consider 25 also in that, ma'am.
yeah, yeah. The both length and breadth they can be same also. No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it fine now? Any doubt regarding this session? Okay. So maybe we can end up with this session now. Yeah. If you don't have any doubt, you can leave now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, are you there, ma'am? Hello? Hello?